Title: The Last Hope. Please like and subscribe, thank you. In the year 3179, Earth was no longer the planet people remembered. The oceans had dried into salt plains, the skies were thick with ash, and the sun hung dimly like a dying ember in a bleak, orange sky. For the last 3 centuries, humanity had fought a losing battle against the decay, a parasitic, synthetic virus that infected not just humans, but the very technology and ecosystems that sustained life. Cities lay in ruin. Forests had withered. Artificial intelligences once designed to protect mankind turned hostile, corrupted by the very systems they were meant to guard. The few survivors lived scattered in underground vaults and distant space stations. The Earth was considered lost. All but one believed so. Her name was Alara Quinn. Alara was a xenobiologist and systems engineer, one of the last people trained in ancient terraforming sciences. She belonged to the Celestials, a secretive order that had sworn to find a cure or leave Earth forever. They had built ships to travel beyond the solar system, in search of new habitable worlds. But Alara wasn't ready to give up. Somewhere, buried deep beneath the ancient city of Nairobi, there was a legend of a device called the Solace Core, a machine designed in the twilight years of the old world by a scientist known only as Dr. Ayan. The core was rumored to house the last pure genetic code of Earth's original biosphere: plants, animals, clean air algorithms, everything needed to restore the planet, if the core could be activated. Most dismissed it as a myth. But Alara had seen glimpses in old data archives. And so, with a broken drone, a prototype AI named Vox, and a ragged map stitched together from pre-war satellites, she ventured into the wastelands. The journey. The journey to old Nairobi was treacherous. The air was thick with toxic storms, and decay-infected drones patrolled the skies. Mutated creatures lurked in the shadows, their flesh fused with rusted metal. As Alara crossed the barren plains of what was once East Africa, her AI companion Vox transmitted warnings. Greater than Vox, proximity alert. 2 decay sentinels, 300 meters. Defensive protocols advised. Alara ducked behind a crumbled wall of an ancient hospital, clutching her energy rifle. The sentinels were towering bipedal machines, their bodies a grotesque blend of rusted steel and organic matter, their hollow eyes scanning the ruins. She waited until they passed, her heart pounding like a drum inside her suit. Greater than ELARA, I don't have time for this. We're too close. They pressed on. Days turned into nights, though the sky never truly darkened, and after crossing a sea of bleached bones and skeletal trees, Alara finally reached the coordinates. There, half buried beneath the earth, was an old subterranean facility marked with faded words, Project Solace. The descent. The entrance was sealed, but Alara's multi-tool pried open the rusted hatch. She climbed down into the darkness, the air stale but breathable. Inside, corridors of crumbling steel stretched into the depths, lit only by her helmet's beam. Ancient consoles blinked to life as Vox interfaced with the remaining systems. Greater than Vox, core chamber detected. Level -7. Multiple life signs, unknown origin. Life signs, she whispered. Following the flickering map, Alara passed rooms filled with old stasis pods, most shattered and empty. Some still contained unrecognizable remains. Strange bioluminescent vines clung to the walls, glowing faintly. At last, she reached the core chamber. And what she saw made her gasp. The Solace Core. The chamber was vast, a circular cathedral of glass and metal. At its center stood the Solace Core, a crystalline sphere floating within. A suspension field, humming softly. Around it were 6 figures, standing motionless. They were humans, or what was left of them. Their bodies fused with machinery, eyes dim with cybernetic implants, pale skin stretched over metal bones. Greater than Vox, decay symbionts. Hostile potential, 87%. But before Alara could raise her weapon, one of them spoke. You are late. It was a woman's voice, ancient and brittle. The figure stepped forward. Her name badge was barely legible, but Alara could make out Ayan. Drive. Ayan. The Solace Core must be activated before total extinction, Ayan rasped. We tried to protect it, but the decay took us. Alara hesitated. Can it still work? Ayan nodded, a jerky, mechanical motion. 1 uninfected hand. 1 living heart. Only then, the core will awaken. The choice. Vox transmitted an urgent message. Greater than Vox, decay biomass converging on this location. Estimated breach in 5 minutes. Alara had to choose. The core required a living connection, a human life to bond with it, to transmit the genetic codes back into the Earth's remaining systems. But the process was irreversible. The one who bonded would be consumed in the process, their body turned into biodata to reboot the planet. Greater than Vox. Alternative, initiate remote core purge. Total destruction probability, 98%. If she failed, Earth would die. And yet, she remembered her mother's stories of oceans, of rain, of green mountains and rivers, of children playing in fields of wildflowers. She was the last true human untainted by decay. This was why she had survived. Alara placed her hand on the core. It was warm, alive. The machine pulsed, tendrils of light wrapping around her fingers, her arms, her chest. She felt her memories flood into the machine, her laughter, her fears, the sound of waves she'd never seen but always dreamed of. For Earth, she whispered. Dash dash dash. The rebirth. As the decay biomass burst into the chamber, the core ignited in a blinding wave of pure, golden light. The corrupted beings shrieked and dissolved. The core sent a pulse through the planet's crust, into the old systems, satellites, and dormant terraforming engines hidden across the world. Clouds began to form in the skies for the first time in centuries. A single drop of clean, fresh rain fell onto the cracked ground. Then another. Then thousands. Plants sprouted where ash had lain. The oceans began to refill. Decay constructs crumbled to dust. And in the heart of the new Earth, the Solace Core stood, a monument to one who gave everything. Dash dash dash. A century later, under blue skies and warm suns, a new civilization thrived. Children played by rivers. Animals roamed forests. The old decay was nothing but a legend told at night. At the center of a lush valley, a crystal monument bore an inscription. Greater than, to Alara Quinn, the last hope. And somewhere in the gentle breeze, if one listened closely, a voice could be heard. We're home. Please like and subscribe for part 2.